You know, Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman, these guys are clueless, and especially Doug. Doug thinks that Miles Sanders is a feature back, and he's not. He's only 212 pounds. You're not going to get 250 carries out of a guy that's small. Maybe 100 carries. Okay? Miles Sanders is a role player. He's a utility back. You see the guy I'm showing this picture here? LeGarrette Blount? That's a bell cow back. 250 pounds. Commands attention from the front seven. Wears them down. And then he gets spotted by a ROAD grader, Jay Ajayi. Yes, Jay Ajayi runs violently up the middle. Just imagine a front seven has to deal with a bell cow back to start the game. And then, when they're tired and exhausted, a violent Jay Ajayi ROAD grader just comes up the middle. And then, to have behind Jay Ajayi a utility back like Clement, who seems to catch touchdowns from the backfield and runs nicely to spell out Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount. That's the kind of role Miles Sanders has. He's a utility back. He's not a feature back. If we run this guy 19 times a game, you're not going to see this guy much this season. He's 210 pounds. See, Doug doesn't know personnel. He just doesn't know personnel. He just doesn't know the backfield of the Eagles. Okay? This team is really leaning so heavy on Carson Wentz. It's a shame. When you have a Super Bowl team, you need every type of facet of the offense to click, including the backfield. This backfield needs an ensemble cast. It does not need a small feature back like Miles Sanders, where you're spotting him and you're monitoring his carries, and then you bring in another utility back in Bostic Scott and another utility back in Clement. There's no power whatsoever in explosion in this Eagles backfield when it comes to carrying the ball. There's no defensive coordinator that's thinking in his mind, oh my God, my front seven has to pay special attention to this bruising back. He can take it to a touchdown off of a 3rd down and 1. Okay, he can take it to a touchdown in the red zone or on the goal line on 1st down and 10 on the 5. You got a game plan with LeGarrette Blount, and then you have a ROAD grader and Jay Ajayi behind him to spot him. Now this picture right here, LeGarrette Blount helped the Eagles defeat his former team by rushing for 90 yards. And this second quarter touchdown. Remember that touchdown gallop he had? Where the secondary was and the linebacker, they were just totally bracing themselves for the impact of a 250-pound plus bell cow back charging right into you. There's no fear. Nobody fears this Eagles team. Listen, DCs do not game plan to stop Miles Sanders. He's never had a game where he had 3 or 4 touchdowns, ever. He never had a game where you say, we must stop Miles Sanders to beat the Philadelphia Eagles or slow the Eagles down. He's never had that type of presence. He's a role player. He already missed a game because of his hamstring issues. That means that he's got one leg explosive and one leg that's lame. He's not an explosive back. Now, I've always said that You need Brandon Jacobs. You need the LeGarrette Blounts. You need the Mike Allstotts. You need the Earl Campbells. Okay? You need the Jerome Bennesses to really get a DC sweating. Okay? To get a DC to pick his poisons. You really need that kind of bell cow back. You need that presence. Miles Sanders is just simply a role player, guys. This Eagles team is so jacked up. You got Arcega Bumside, who's taking Holyfield's spot. Holyfield is small. He's only 220 pounds at best. He's what I would consider a road grader. You need a big guy. You need to resign LeGarrette Blount if he's around, or somebody of that stature. And Doug Peterson, he's not a mastermind of structuring an offense that's formidable. I mean when the Eagles in 2017 lost to the Chiefs, the locker room yelled at him and said, "How you did not use LeGarrette Blount more to have the time of possession battle won, and nobody was touching this guy. That defense is small and fast, and it's not physical." So Doug Peterson is he's a player's coach. If he has players smarter than him, he's going to listen. Nick Foles on the Philly special, the Philly, brought up to him, why not try that on 4th down? That's very telling of Doug Peterson's IQ, football IQ, offensive IQ. He's really not a high IQ guy. And this is why we're seeing the faults that we're seeing today. The last 3 games, there's no balance in the offense whatsoever. Let's face it, because we have Miles Sanders, they have to spell him on certain series where he doesn't get a single carry because they don't want to burn his legs out. The Eagles should never go through a series without running the football. They need to call up Holyfield. They need to sign LeGarrette Blount or a bell cow back, that type of frame, 250 plus. This is unacceptable. You just had a Super Bowl winning team 3 years ago, and you didn't refurbish the formula that was right in front of you. Okay, Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson, that's unacceptable. Now, this is how you should have ran your ensemble cast of running backs. You start the game with the bell cow back. He wears down the front 7 on all 4 series. Then you spell him with the road grader and a Ajayi type, a very violent running back type. And then you go to the utility back, okay, on the 3rd quarter, Corey Clement. And then you have the 4th back. He's a speedster. But you use him during late November and December in the 4th quarter to run the clock down with 3 minutes to go, while your team is trampling football teams by then. Because by then, teams are confused, defenses are confused on how to play the poison that you have by then. You know, you're scoring 30-something points and putting up 400 yards of offense. You're freaking killing people by then. So what do you do with the 4th guy? You bring him in to run down the clock. You bring in a speed demon after that front 7 is worn down to the ankles. They can't. They're too tired, and the score is out of hand. Okay, you're looking for a number 1 seed or 2nd seed. Okay, you go ice the ball game with that speed demon in the 4th, late 4th, 4 minutes to go. Now how? I'm not even a head coach. I'm not even a football guy, but I understand how to structure an offense. I can go play Madden and do the same thing. Allocate my Eagles roster to the 2017. Except have Miles Sanders as a utility back. He'll spell Corey Clement back and forth. you know, in the third quarter. You know, I'll give him about 10 touches from the third to the fourth quarter, just to keep the defense honest, keep defense coordinators sweating. But this is the problem here, guys. This Doug Peterson guy is just absolutely has no IQ for football. He's a low IQ guy. And Nick Foles, I'll make a video about Nick Foles that's pretty compelling.